Hi, it's Terry Edwards, and of course I'm joined by my co-host Drew. And we work with the owners and directors of independently owned recruitment and search businesses, and they come to us when they want to increase their sales, increase their profits, and dominate the market. Well, one of the questions that we get asked probably every day of the week is, why aren't clients buying from us right now? Why aren't my potential clients engaging me and spending money with me? So that's what we want to share with you. Why your prospects are not buying from you right now, and exactly how to fix it. True.
Yeah, and they're typically, there are 4 things that you need to have in place for you to make the sale, for a client to buy from you. We're going to really be outlining those 4 things during this video.
Excellent. So the very first thing that must happen, if you think about it, when you're in communication or dialogue with a client, one of the questions they're asking themselves silently is, can these guys deliver? Can they do what they say they're going to do? Now, for them to think that, they've got to, at the very least, know who you are. See, you asking a complete stranger, especially if you want a retainer, or if it's a big fee, to spend 10, 15,000 of your local currency just on the retainer, that ain't going to happen with a complete stranger unless at the very least they know who you are. So the first one is, they've got to know you.
And again, in my opinion, this is probably the hardest one to say hardest one. This is the one where most recruitment and search owners fall short, because they complain about not having enough clients and not having enough of the right clients. And one of the biggest reasons isn't because they're losing out to somebody else, it's because they're not even known by their ideal clients. So the ideal clients don't know they exist. They're completely obscure, right? So the first sort of hurdle you need to overcome is, how do I make sure that my clients or my ideal clients know that I exist? If you get over that hurdle, the next 3 steps become a lot easier, as you'll see in a minute.
Yeah. So now they know who you are. But here's the thing. If you're an executive search firm, as an example, and I know who you are, and you reach out to me offering me, I don't know, perhaps you recruit CFOs for corporate organisations. One of the biggest challenges you've got reaching out to us is that I've got to have a need. Now, so just a word of caution, don't call us because we have no need for an executive search firm, but you get the point. So if you're then reaching out to organisations or decision makers or hiring managers that have no need, quite frankly, you're pushing water up a hill. It's almost impossible to get any business if they've got no need for what you do.
It is. I think the good news is, though, that again, depending on what market you're in, but for most markets that we come across, your potential clients will always have a need eventually, right? So it might not be now. Eventually, they will have a need. So as long as you can make sure they know you exist, you can then work on making sure that you're the first person they think of when they're ready to buy. So as soon as they have a need, are you going to be the first person they think of? Are you going to be the first firm that they think of when they have a need for whatever role, whatever particular role?
Right. So no need. The next one is, they've got to like you. Think about it. You as a buyer now, and you're gonna engage somebody, but let's be a rep firm or somebody to do your garden or whatever it is. A major factor in all this is that you've actually got to like them, and if your clients don't like you for whatever reason, by the way, you won't be all things to all people, so not every single client is going to like you. The chances of you getting the business are pretty slim, in particular if you're competing with somebody else who the client actually likes. So yeah. Just to recap, no, need, like is the third one. Anything to add to that, Drew?
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there where, probably on both sides, right? As a buyer, where you're speaking to a salesperson, they're trying to sell you something, it's something you actually need, but you just don't quite like them. There's something about them you don't like, and it could be anything, yeah. Right? And for that reason, you don't buy from them, you decide to buy from someone else. And we've probably been on the other end of it as well, where we have made the sale because the person we're selling to likes us more than the person we're competing against, or we've probably made purchases from friends because they're friends, not even because we need the service necessarily, but because they're friends. Yeah. So like is very important, but it's actually, again, it's relatively easy to build, right? Or to get someone to like you as long as you're being yourself. And again, as Terry mentioned, the goal isn't to get everybody to like you. The goal is to get your ideal clients to like you, and your ideal clients are going to like you because they share your values. And as long as you're putting that in your marketing, you're actually being yourself. It actually gives them a chance to find something to like about you rather than just looking like every other firm out there. Then again, this is relatively easy to do.
Yeah. And the final one is trust. As I mentioned earlier, Your prospects got to trust you. And again, if you're a search firm and you want a retainer, and even if you're a contingency recruiter, they've got to know that you're going to deliver. They've got to trust you. Because you're representing their company when it comes to attracting candidates. So that is critical. In fact, I don't think any of these are even more important than the others, but the trust has got to be there. Whether you're a search firm with on a retained basis or a contingent recruiter, if the client doesn't trust you, you ain't going to get the business. It really is as simple as that.
Now, as the owner of the business, it's critical that you work on all four of these things. So what you're doing right now to be known, what you're doing right now to establish whether or not your ideal prospects have a need, and what you're doing to gain that like and trust as well. If you're not doing those four things, you will never make the sale. Have these four things in place, the sale becomes so much more easier. So if you want help with this, you want help building, making sure that your ideal clients know you, who you are, know you exist, how to get them to raise their hand and express a need for the services that you offer, how to build that like and also that credibility as well so they trust you to deliver the results. So when you have this trust, another amazing thing that happens is that your fee becomes irrelevant because they know no matter what your fee is, they're going to get a return on investment. They're going to get the results that they want. So if you want to know how to do that, click the link beneath this video.